Everybody in the world had something to say about the Will Smith Oscar incident. Everybody's talking about it. This, that, and the other. Well, let's hear what Will had to say about it. Stay tuned.
My father was my hero. His name was Willard Carroll Smith, but we all called him Daddy-O. He demanded rigid perfection from himself and the people around him. When I was 11 years old, he decided he wanted a new wall on the front of his shop. He thought it would be a good project for my younger brother, Harry, and me. Every day for nearly a year, my brother and I would go to my father's shop after school to work on that wall. There were so many times I remember looking at that hole totally discouraged. But Daddy-O wouldn't let us stop. Stop thinking about the damn wall, he said. Your job is to lay this brick perfectly. Then move on to the next brick. Don't be worrying about no wall. Your only concern is one brick.
Don't worry about building no wall. Just lay one perfect brick today.
Through laying bricks, Daddy-O was training me in limitless perseverance in the face of any and all inner enemies.
Assisted rescue area. I'm gonna need that.
For my entire career, I've been committed to a work ethic of uncompromising intensity. You show up and you lay another brick. Pissed off, lay another brick. Bad opening weekend, lay another brick. Album sales dropping, lay another brick. Marriage failing, lay another brick. Nearly a year after my brother and I had started the wall, we mixed the final pile and laid the final brick. Daddy-O plucked his cigarette to the ground and said, "Now don't y'all ever tell me it's something you can't do." My father gave me my name. He gave me his name. And he gave me my greatest advantage in life. The ability to persist in the face of anything, to always get up and lay another brick. He gave me will.
So, I was looking at the building, and it dawned on me that we hadn't actually climbed to the top of the Burj Khalifa. And my sense of accomplishment turned into a dejected sense of failure.
The challenge was that once Will started succeeding, and this is such a danger to people who start succeeding, especially when they start succeeding young. You've set yourself up that you have to keep winning. It's almost like a team with an unbeaten record. Will is so able to sort of master anything through hard work and looks like the most eminent success. But that didn't come without a cost.
What was wrong with me? Why was I so afraid? Why was I such a coward? Such a coward. Just reinforced my shame. I was the weak. I was the coward. I was the coward. My thoughts were swirling, caused me to feel more shame and more self-loathing. And everybody's looking at me. I didn't have control over it. It began to dawn on me that my overcompensation and fake bravado were really just another more insidious manifestation of the coward. My thoughts were swirling. I didn't have control over it. I was overcome with shame, 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 shame.
Will really derives a sense of self from always succeeding and being well-liked. The need to feel like, I'm going to be loved, I'm going to win. And for Will, this is his drug. But unfortunately, as with any addiction, it can kind of get a little out of control.
My father was military. He was Air Force. I grew up with the double-edged gift of discipline. It was military motivation in my house. You get that flag to the top of that hill. And his other favorite thing was, when I send you on a mission, there's two possibilities. One, you complete the mission, or two, you're dead.
Wow. Now, I chose to play that clip first because within it we see several mindsets ingrained. He gave me my name, Will. Another insidious manifestation of the coward. Now, in future clips, we're going to find out what the coward means to Will. But this bricklaying episode is so key to how he drives himself. He did a documentary called Best Shape of My Life. Beginning in January 2021, he decided that he was going to do two things simultaneously. Number one, he was going to finish writing the book called Will, and he was going to lose 20 pounds in 20 weeks. Now, writing this book was a major drain emotionally because he had to address some of the childhood beliefs that he had developed because of the trauma in his household. As many of us know, his mother was a victim of domestic violence. His dad was so military, so rigid, and when he would drink, he would become very evil, and that's when a lot of the traumatic, abusive incidents occurred. But what's happening is Will's watching this mess. And one particular time, when he'll talk about that particular time later, I don't want to spoil this, but one particular time it got set up in his head that he was a coward because he didn't step in to save his mother. And when he saw the result of that beating, which he'll tell you a little bit later in this, it just ingrained in him that he was a coward. Now, add that to the fact that he needs approval from his parents, because here he is a kid. Most of us need that approval as part of our developmental growth. And he couldn't get that from his father, who had a military mindset. So now what does Phil do? He just lays another brick. Marriage fail and lay another brick. Bad box office returns, lay another brick. Okay, there's something missing here. You can't just keep laying bricks, so to speak, and use it in that as an avoidance tactic, not to deal with the internal dynamics that are going on in you. So if you can just redirect your focus in the middle of emotional upheaval, which we'll talk later about why he doesn't really show those types of emotions, but that's still going on inside you. You're not dealing with it. You're not dealing with it. You're laying another brick. Let me get this next accomplishment. Let me get this next accomplishment. And what happens in the process? You begin to identify your self-worth, your sense of self, by your accomplishments. Taking pride in how you can control your mind to accomplish these goals in the face of adversity. But what's missing here is that he not controlling his mind with respect to the turmoil that's going on inside. He's just laying another brick. Now, I have done a lot of thinking about this whole bricklaying incident in Will's life. And I think that the underlying foundational message that his dad was trying to teach his young boys goes to teaching them to be men. He wanted them to, you never say, look, when I grew up, there was a couple of things you didn't do and you didn't say to my parents. One of them was, I can't. You are going to get challenged on that. What do you mean you can't? Don't ever tell me you can't. So I get that dynamic. I get one brick at a time now, you guys. Don't come in here, because I guess what led to that, what they were complaining about, look at all of this wall we got to build. We're just kids. And his dad wanted him to pay attention to the fact that you lay one brick with excellence at a time. And stop looking at where you need to go with this. You want to just focus on the task at hand. And that's straight up military. When you go to boot camp, you get it ingrained. This is the task within the mission. You may never be told the overall mission, but your focus as a soldier is to address that one task. Your failure to focus and address your assigned task could mean danger for the entire troop. So I get where the he was coming from with that message, just one brick at a time. If you just focus on what's before you, you will eventually see the wall built. But now add that to the fact that Will is building up this coward persona, believing he's a coward, and the fact that his dad is military, and his dad is the abuser, and he got to figure out how to interject himself in between his dad and his mom so that he can kind of divert focus. And you've got a situation where a child who is not completely developmentally progressed, drilling in the wrong mindset based on the lessons being taught. And the other thing is his dad was straight up just, don't ever tell me you can't do something. Now, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And there was no pat on the back. Look, you guys really did this. No sense of approval. Just straight up, I ain't giving you no emotion here. You did it. All right, next. And that wasn't the thing to be going on in Will's life at that time. I'll tell you how it played out in my life. Okay, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, this sounds minor to y'all, but it was a defining moment in my life when I signed up for the home ec class. Now, I don't know if they still have those in school, but I went to school in the 60s and the 70s. And when I went to high school my freshman year, everybody took home economics. Well, all the girls did. Okay. And in this class, you learn how to sew, you learn how to cook, yada, yada, yada. And for some reason, I came home and told my mother, I'm dropping that class. And she didn't ask me why. What do you think? It's like, you're not dropping that class. You signed up for that class, so you're going to take that class. Now, nothing wrong with the lesson. Once you commit to something, follow it through. It's building character. I get that now. But what that built up in me at the time was you made your bed, so you lie in it. If you make a decision and that decision causes you to be in some kind of trouble, you made that decision, so you have to deal with those consequences alone. So what did that do? All through my life, I was going to college. I had seen when my older brother went to college, he would always call home for money. They would always send it to him. And in myself, I'm building up resentment about that because I'm seeing my dad work his fingers to the bone. Mama was at home. She was a stay-at-home mom. And I'm seeing that they're scraping and scrimping because there were 5 of us kids. And I determined in my head I'm never going to ask for money when I go to college. So I was broke a lot. I was hungry a lot. But I never told my parents. What's worse is, here I got pregnant with my wonderful son. In my first semester in college, I'm 18, I get pregnant. I'm pregnant through the whole 2 semesters. So by the time I had him, we had already gone through finals, okay? But I'm so stupid. I'm sitting up there. I got an apartment on campus in married housing and sitting there not asking for help. Not asking for help. When I was in an abusive marriage and I was getting beat up, never crossed my mind to ask for help. Never crossed my mind to talk to my dad about it or to tell my parents how I was struggling. So you see how we build up these mindsets as kids that govern how we live our lives, and many times to our own detriment. So the message in the lessons that his dad was trying to teach him, there's nothing wrong with that. But the way that it was delivered and the way that it was received in Will's brain was, I'm going to have to keep grinding. I got to be better. I got to do better. His work ethic was off the charts. That's good when you're making movies. He demanded excellence of himself. That's good when you're making movies. But to what detriment? The doctor who spoke in this clip said, but it came at a cost. It came at the cost of his mental health. So basically, Will, no matter how strong you think your mind is to accomplish stuff, it's all built on sand. If you use that as an avoidance tactic, not to deal with the turmoil inside you. Let's go to the next clip. Hey, if you like what you see here today, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you know when we upload, and like and share the video. Thanks.